World War I, the Great War, the war to end all wars, it shattered empires and redrew maps. Millions perished and survivors returned home forever changed. Among them were writers like Hemingway and Fitzgerald. Their work was shaped by the shadow of war. The war's impact on literature was profound. It gave rise to a new realism, raw and unflinching. Gone were romantic notions of glory, replaced by disillusionment. These themes found their way into American literature. This video explores the impact of World War I on these writers. It examines how their experiences shaped their literary voices. Through their words, we understand the war's enduring legacy. Ernest Hemingway's relationship with war was direct and visceral. Though too young to enlist in the U.S. Army, he volunteered as an ambulance driver in Italy, where he witnessed firsthand the brutality of the conflict. He was severely wounded by mortar fire, an experience that left him physically and emotionally scarred. Later, he covered the Greco-Turkish War as a journalist, further immersing himself in the chaos and violence of conflict. These experiences had a profound impact on Hemingway's writing. His prose, known for its sparseness and directness, reflected the harsh realities he had witnessed. He stripped away sentimentality, opting instead for a detached, almost journalistic style that conveyed the starkness of war and its aftermath. His characters, often veterans themselves, grappled with disillusionment, loss, and the struggle to find meaning in a world forever altered by conflict. Hemingway's time in war-torn Europe also shaped his use of irony. In his seminal novel about a love affair set against the backdrop of World War I, he masterfully employs irony to expose the chasm between the rhetoric of war and the brutal reality on the ground. Lofty ideals like patriotism and glory are stripped bare, revealed as hollow slogans in the face of suffering and death. Hemingway's war experiences profoundly influenced his portrayal of what Gertrude Stein famously dubbed the Lost Generation. This group of writers, artists, and intellectuals who came of age during the war felt adrift in a world shattered by conflict. They rejected traditional values and searched for meaning in a world stripped bare of illusions. Hemingway captures the essence of this lost generation. His characters, haunted by their wartime experiences, wander aimlessly through Europe, seeking solace in fleeting pleasures. Jake Barnes, the novel's protagonist, bears the physical and emotional scars of war, a constant reminder of the conflict that has irrevocably shaped his life. Hemingway's short stories also offer poignant glimpses into the lives of veterans struggling to readjust to civilian life. Tells the story of Krebs, a young man who returns from the war emotionally numb, unable to connect with the people and the world he left behind. He finds solace only in his memories of the war, a stark reminder of the invisible wounds that continue to haunt so many veterans. Unlike Hemingway, F. Scott Fitzgerald did not witness the horrors of World War I firsthand. He enlisted in the army, but did not see combat. Yet the war cast a long shadow over his life and his writing. It was a pervasive presence, a subtle but undeniable force shaping the anxieties and desires of the Jazz-Age generation he so deftly portrayed. Fitzgerald's most celebrated novel is not a war novel in the traditional sense. Yet, the specter of war haunts the narrative, lurking beneath the surface of glittering parties and opulent lifestyles. Jay Gatsby, the enigmatic millionaire, is himself a product of war, his character shaped by his wartime experiences. His pursuit of Daisy Buchanan, his lost love, is fueled by a longing for a past forever altered by the war, a yearning for a time of innocence and possibility that can never be recaptured. Fitzgerald's portrayal of the Jazz Age, with its reckless abandon and pursuit of pleasure, can be seen as a reaction to the trauma of war. His characters, haunted by a sense of loss and disillusionment, sought solace in fleeting moments of joy and escape. The shadow of war, though often unspoken, loomed large, a constant reminder of the fragility of their gilded world. The shadow of war on Gatsby's green light. The war's presence is most keenly felt in the bond between Nick Carraway, the story's narrator, and Jay Gatsby. Both men served in the war, an experience that forges a silent understanding between them. Gatsby's wartime service, particularly his brief but intense romance with Daisy before his deployment, becomes a defining chapter in his life, shaping his ambitions and fueling his relentless pursuit of wealth and status. The green light at the end of Daisy's dock, a potent symbol of Gatsby's longing and unattainable dreams, takes on a deeper meaning in the context of the war. It represents a lost innocence, a yearning for a pre-war world of promise and possibility. Gatsby's relentless pursuit of the green light, his desperate attempt to recapture the past, speaks to the profound sense of loss and disillusionment that defined a generation shaped by war. Fitzgerald's prose, while more lyrical and expansive than Hemingway's, also reflects the war's impact. His descriptions, though often infused with a sense of beauty and enchantment, hint at the underlying anxieties and uncertainties of a world grappling with the aftermath of a cataclysmic event. Faulkner mythologizing war and memory. William Faulkner, like Hemingway, was deeply affected by World War I, though his experience with the conflict was indirect. He famously fabricated stories about serving in the Royal Air Force, even claiming to have been wounded in combat. Though these claims were later debunked, they reveal a fascination with war and its impact on the human psyche. Faulkner's novels, set primarily in the American South, often explore the themes of war and its enduring legacy. While he often delved into the history of the American Civil War, the specter of World War I is never far from the surface. His characters, often haunted by the past, grappled with the weight of history and the enduring trauma of conflict. Faulkner offers a complex and often romanticized vision of the Civil War. The novel, told through layers of fragmented memories and unreliable narrators, explores the war's impact on Southern identity and its enduring legacy of violence and racial tension. While not directly about World War I, the novel's exploration of war's impact on memory and its power to shape individual and collective identities resonates with the experiences of the lost generation. The sound and the fury of a fractured world. Faulkner's most experimental work, though not explicitly about war, reflects the war's impact on modern consciousness. The novel's fragmented narrative structure, its stream of consciousness technique, and its exploration of trauma and psychological disintegration can be seen as a reflection of the war's shattering impact on traditional notions of time, narrative, and identity. The novel centers on the Compson family, a once proud Southern family in decline. Their story, told from the perspectives of 4 different characters, including Benji, a mentally disabled man, reveals a family shattered by loss, grief, and the weight of a troubled past. The novel's exploration of fractured consciousness, its fragmented narrative structure, and its themes of decay and disintegration reflect the profound sense of disillusionment and fragmentation that characterized the post-war era. While Faulkner's fictional world is steeped in the history and mythology of the American South, his exploration of the human condition, particularly his portrayal of trauma, loss, and the enduring power of the past, transcends time and place. His works, though often challenging, offer a profound meditation on the human capacity for both endurance and self-destruction. Irony and illusion, the literary scars of war. Hemingway, Fitzgerald, and Faulkner masterfully use irony to expose the chasm between illusion and reality. Their characters struggle to reconcile idealized visions with harsh truths. Hemingway's stark irony contrasts romantic love with violence. Fitzgerald's irony is subtle, tinged with melancholy. Gatsby's pursuit of the American dream is a tragic illusion. Faulkner's irony reflects Southern history's complexities. His characters are trapped by the past, facing tragic irony. A legacy forged in the crucible of conflict. The literary legacy of Hemingway, Fitzgerald, and Faulkner is inextricably linked to the experience of World War I. The war, with its unprecedented violence and its shattering impact on traditional values, left an indelible mark on their imaginations, shaping their themes, their styles, and their worldviews. Hemingway's spare prose and unflinching realism, Fitzgerald's poignant portrayal of a generation grappling with disillusionment and loss, and Faulkner's exploration of the war's enduring legacy on memory and identity all stand as testaments to the war's profound impact on American literature. Their works continue to resonate with readers today, not just as historical artifacts, but as timeless explorations of the human condition in the face of adversity. They remind us of the enduring power of war to shape individual lives and collective destinies, and they challenge us to confront the complexities of conflict and its lasting impact on the human spirit. The influence of the American woman in literary voices. In the literary landscapes shaped by Hemingway, Fitzgerald, and Faulkner, the presence of the American woman emerges as a powerful force. These writers, whose lives and works were deeply intertwined with the tumultuous era of World War I, often drew inspiration from the women in their lives and the evolving roles of women in society. Hemingway's heroines, like Brett Ashley in The Sun Also Rises, embody a blend of strength and vulnerability, reflecting the changing dynamics of gender and the search for identity in a post-war world. Brett's independence and complexity challenge traditional gender norms and highlight the emotional scars left by the war. Fitzgerald's women, such as Daisy Buchanan in The Great Gatsby, serve as symbols of both aspiration and disillusionment. Daisy's enigmatic allure and her ultimate detachment underscore the elusive nature of the American dream and the personal cost of societal expectations. Her character exposes the fragility of dreams in the face of harsh realities. Faulkner's portrayal of women, from the resilient Caddy Compson in The Sound and the Fury to the indomitable Addie Bundren in As I Lay Dying, reveals the profound impact of female strength and suffering on familial and social structures. These women navigate a world scarred by conflict and loss, their lives echoing the broader themes of memory, identity, and endurance. The influence of these American women in the works of Hemingway, Fitzgerald, and Faulkner underscores the complex interplay between gender, society, and the aftermath of war. Their characters, rich with inner life and societal pressures, reflect the shifting tides of their time and continue to resonate with readers today. Through their literary voices, we gain insight into the resilience and complexity of the human spirit, particularly in the face of profound change and adversity. The legacy of these women in literature reminds us that the narratives of war and its aftermath are not solely defined by the men who fought, but also by the women who navigated, endured, and influenced the world they left behind. If you enjoyed this exploration of literary voices, please press like and subscribe for more insightful content.